Welcome in. We are DCPC. We are Discussion Combustion. We are back at you. This is episode 62, and always excited. Our guest, Young Kim, has a lot of energy in here tonight. We've been having a good conversation. He has a lot to say and a lot to teach. You know, do with the hormone stuff. There's a lot of different business entrepreneur things happening. So talking about entrepreneurs as well, you know, we got to give a big word up to Mountain Made CBD. That's mountainmade.life. That's where you go for your crystal clear CBD products.
That's right. That's CBD fuel for the activated lifestyle, getting you outdoors, getting you moving, or, you know, just the regular lifestyle like mine. I personally love the Recover. I say it week after week. Great products. The Build, Boost, and Recover lines have been out for over a year now. Mm-hmm. They've been tested. They've been proven to work. The Puff guys, they're loaded up on inventory over there, and they're running great deals on the Puff right now. Running $4 individually, or if you have a $20 bill in your pocket, get 6 of them. Great deal. You know, these things are pretty unique, full spectrum, smokable CBD pre-roll.
Primarily CBD. You know, it's very minimal THC.
Less than 0.003%.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of the only smokable CBD joints in the market.
Certainly challenging that market. That market is growing. There's a lot of CBD flower out there. There's a lot of choices in the CBD world. Mountain Made right here locally, Colorado. Great company. Gives you the fuel to hashtag go like hell.
Absolutely. Discussion Combustion is also brought to you by Wild Outdoor Adventures. That's WOAMEET.com.
That's right. Summertime, guys. It's almost half over. Get outdoors. It's free to sign up at WOAMEET.com. Set up an account. See what's going on. Get on their email list.
Trek the trails.
Trek those trails. Be sure to get on that list so you can get out there, meet people, do a little hiking, do a little overnight backpacking. I don't know if they're doing whitewater rafting. You never know what WA is up to. But it's more than just an online outdoor activity community. It really is designed to bring people together, you know?
Yes, and a lot of the events are actually no charge unless there's equipment rentals or different fees of that sort. So you could go on their website at no charge, you know, become a member for free. You could start a blog, you know, ask questions. They have entrepreneurial page, Hope for Teens, veteran-specific programs as well. So it's a lot that's going on there, easy to use website, and they're doing great things, getting people out on trails that are, you know, tried and true by the veterans who have been on them before.
That's it. And if you got a little bit of advice for some of these outdoor people, maybe you know about some good hiking gear, some boots, what have you, get on that community, get on there for free, connect with others. If you're single looking to meet someone, great opportunity to do so. Again, that's WOAMEET.com for less dreaming and more exploring.
Yes, and always remember to like and subscribe, DCPC. We're coming at you every single week with video, and we're available on all audio platforms. Young, we're happy to have you back in.
Thanks,
here, man.
guys. I'm happy to be here.
It's good to see you, man.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You guys are amazing, so I got to say, not a plug for anything, but these guys are great. You guys should all listen. So, yeah, get involved. Click that subscribe button.
Smash it. Smash it.
Thanks for the positive words. Young's bringing in some good energy. We had you in here last November, man. So what's been going on? It's been almost a year.
Man, I think the last time we had talked, I think it was political, because I think it was like an election or something. I think at the time, city, or there was, I don't know, some drama. There's always drama politically, and I think obviously we can see that in the everyday news, right? So, yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance what's going on, and obviously it kind of puts perspective for everything that I was dealing with. So, yeah, definitely a humbling thing. So,
good.
Yeah.
So what's been the big developments with the new businesses and where, because where you left us off, you said you had some big announcements, you're making some transitions.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
We had that the changeover for the hormone clinic, the HRT-TRT clinic. We're now a Colorado Alternative Medicine, a family of the Florida Alternative Medicine down in Tampa. But it's been amazing of just being in part, really, of people's lives. We always tell people it's a choice, and every time I have to take a shot because I hate needles. But it is interesting because every time it's a choice in life, a quality of life, and I think we talked about that last time a little bit. But it is, it's never something that you never want to force anything on anybody. So
yeah. So are you one of the people who looks away when you get a shot then?
Man, when I first started, I started about 10 years ago. I'm 42 now, so I'm old. When I first started, it took me 2 years before I gave my own injection. I think I was in California traveling. I had an injection. My wife did it. She didn't know what she was doing. She hit me so hard, and it bruised so bad. I just figured I can't do any worse than that. So I just started doing my own injections. And to be honest with you, going to the clinic, twice a week or whatever it may be at the time, it took a lot of time. Time out of my day. So
with those type of injections, are they like, do you have to hit the vein, or can you just stick it in?
Typically, there's like a couple different areas. You want to get it into the muscle, so it's really delivered right away. So yeah, glutes the easiest part.
Right in the buttocks, huh?
Yeah, right in the buttocks.
Oh, man.
Stay away from the spine, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you don't want to hit anything there. And it's really, I forgot my nurse prac. She told me, I don't know how many years, nobody's ever hit any kind of blood vessels. So it's one of the things that it does scare people away, but I can tell you it's pretty safe and pretty easy. So
I'm afraid of needles. I can't watch. I don't want to watch.
I don't do well. I had my blood drawn for my annual a couple weeks ago, and I just always make sure to look away. And then back in February, I had a huge allergic reaction to amoxicillin.
Oh, man.
So I had the hives. I was covered hives head to toe, and they had to put one of those steroid shots right in my ass.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to pass out when they put that in there.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you this. Now it's kind of funny. I just kind of watch it go in. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't feel great for anybody.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, after doing it for so long, it's like...
And so what's the injection exactly?
Oh, it's just testosterone.
Okay.
There's like different kinds of it, but there is one that's pretty common that everyone knows. Testosterone cypionate. It's like a slower release. It almost tries to replicate what we produce in our, bodies anyway. So yeah.
Now, is that something that's like typically given to men with low T, or is it more of a base of building muscle, energy, performance in the bedroom kind of thing? What are some of the differences there?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people don't understand really the kind of I guess the symptoms that you would show. That weird midday crash.
Yeah.
Pretty good chance that's low T.
Really?
Yeah. Muscle. I mean, we talk about the muscle building, muscle retention, fat loss. But people don't understand. Like sleep gets better, sleep quality, sleep duration. Drive gets better. Sexual drive gets better. I tell people all the time. I warn guys all the time. I said, hey, tell your wife. They're like, why, man? I don't want to tell her. I go, dude, you're going to have, morning erection every morning. And if, that could cause an issue relationally. So I just tell people what's going to come down the pipe and what to expect. And that's it.
No pun intended.
Yeah. I will tell you, I started my dad, I think at 68. And the guy... beforehand, man, he didn't want to live. He just was like, dude, I'm done. He was just sitting in the house, just like wouldn't come out of the room.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. And then literally, after we put him on it, he was like, man, I want to get another business. I want to go work out. I want to get remarried. And he did all of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And he was 68, 69 when he started. So.
And they say low T can start as early as 30, 35?
Man, this is kind of getting to a weird place, but I've had some younger gents, 18, 17.
So it's really case by case. Just
and
how
I
you're built.
will tell you, there's no nobody escapes from it. I can tell you this, that from what I've seen over time, it seems to be that it's just happening. Whether it's food or you can blame it on whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you what's there, really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so people come to you, they find you, and they go, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. How can you guys help
Right,
us?
and what to expect. And I will tell you this, man. After doing it just all myself, I tried. The reason I got turned on to it is funny. I think everyone saw, Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds, and or the Sammy Sosa thing. But everyone just kind of noticed them too. But they were on that company Balco in Frisco, San Francisco. They were doing creams and you just hear these things. But as a normal everyday Joe, I didn't think anything of it, but I was like, hey, man, if I can get bigger, stronger, faster, we're just putting some cream on, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I think I did try to call Balco. Even though they got
like
sued.
you were saying, like you don't want to do cardio, like that's...
Oh, dude, I don't know about anyone else, but cardio is not fun for anybody.
Like a little, well, I guess the runner's high if you're like doing it every day,
right.
And you're used to the torture,
right?
Then at that point you might like it. But yeah, I have if I'm doing cardio, it has to be like some biking or like swimming or
something unique.
Yeah,
right? All right,
like, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, but anyways, after that, I did try it. I went to my primary care and said, hey, it was one of those things that I had to change in my life. That's sleep apnea and some spinal issues. But man, it really changed the direction of my life. I think I was really depressed at the time. I had quit basketball because I just lost all drive. I think one day I was driving on I-25 near Hamden. Dude, I almost just fell asleep. And that's when I knew it was like, hey man, I got to do something different. So
yeah.
You were just feeling spent.
You know what? It wasn't spent. I mean, obviously sleep apnea plays a really big role in it. So, just getting those two fixed were really... from the quality of life and the direction of where my life was headed, was definitely different.
Now, do you do the CPAP? I think we talked about this last time, but
Yeah, I don't do the CPAP. I tried every. I think we did. I've tried every mask you can imagine. The Vader mask, which is like the full face, the nose, the mouth, just the nose. I tried an oxygen machine, you name it. I've done it all. I did 2 surgeries. Yeah, and the only thing that helped was a mouthpiece. So,
Really, the mouthpiece did it.
It wasn't the one that you normally see. It wasn't this like the rubber band one you see at the dental offices. And I got no problem with dentists, but that particular mouthpiece is just not up to par.
Yeah.
And so I found this company. I saw it on, I don't know, some magazine, dude. It was like an acrylic mouthpiece. It didn't look comfortable, but I knew it was going to be hella expensive. So I finally just said, dude, I got to do it. And it was
worth the money.
Best, man.
What does it do exactly? So how does it position in your mouth, and what does it do?
It holds. It has like 2 locking mechanisms, and it kind of holds. So it just kind of prevents for your lower jaw from collapsing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's basically what it is. It just collapses on it. And yeah, man.
No snoring, no.
The snoring only happens if you like sleep on your back. So
Yeah.
Turn on my side. Just perfect sleeping. So yeah.
Yeah, I heard a myth one time that they say that men snore because their balls hang over their asshole and it creates vapor lock.
That's probably true as well.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I'd throw that in there, but both
funny.
my folks deal with sleep apnea, and I almost wonder if sometimes maybe I do. I'm not sure. I have a hard time sleeping. That's one of the things I've been dealing with.
Is that one of the symptoms? Is you just wake up more?
I kind of wake up like gasping for air sometimes.
Yeah. You know, man, mine was so bad. Everyone, I remember, I think I went on a ski trip with all my friends from California, and they, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, at the time I was engaged, and I think I was like, or married. And then I woke up, and they're like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, man. And they're like, you sound like you're dying every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sucks. I'm alive, so hey, we're good. So, but I can't tell you, it is a scary thing. It is a scary thing, and everyone should get it checked. Sleeping is such a vital important part of anyone's life. So
yeah, the less you sleep, the less you'll live.
Yeah,
it'll literally take years off your life if you don't sleep like a normal sleep schedule.
Is it 6 to 8 hours? I mean, is that what we need?
I think 6.5 to 9.
I feel pretty good at 6.
That, right. Well, and I don't know if the duration counts. Really, what's more important is the REM sleep.
Yeah.
Portion of REM. And I just talked to my doctor about it, the guy that did my mouthpiece, and he was saying something about, and I don't quote me because I didn't listen very much to him. Their brain doesn't have any kind of system, like a lymphatic system, I guess, to clean out itself. And so what it has is REM sleep. So it has like this vessel on top of your blood vessel. And essentially when you go to REM, it just pumps fluid through there, or blood, or whatever it may be. And it basically cleans out your brain. So the fogginess that people get from not being able to sleep, that's what that happens. Their brain doesn't get this like refresh. He said you can look it up on YouTube or wherever it is. You can look it up. I don't know what's called. It's not brain drain. I think that's the education thing. It's something else, but you should definitely look it up because it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm always trying to improve my sleep, and I've tried the melatonins and the valerian root and the chamomile and all the stuff that's supposed to promote good sleep, and I don't feel like any of it really helps me at all.
It does in a sense because it's natural. We've got to produce melatonin at night, as like right now we're bodies are probably starting to ramp up to produce it so we can get to sleep. The weird thing that one dentist told me, the one that made my first mouthpiece, he said, he asked me a question it struck me really hard. He said, hey man, when's the last time you had a dream? And I was just like dumbfounded. I couldn't tell him an answer. And I could have swore, I was like, yesterday, last week, I don't know. And he said the same thing. He said, yeah, you probably haven't had one in a while. And I go, yeah, I don't remember. And then he goes, wait, it's coming. And literally, he was right. The next night, it was so vivid. It felt, it feels real. That's how real it feels. And so I kind of give that as one of those indicating factors when you're getting REM sleep. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it is a good sign that you're getting
that you're in REM. Because I do dream quite a bit, and they're very vivid.
So that's a good sign, man. And I would tell you, most people really... there are some small stuff there, and the technology is really coming along. There's like these weird things on Amazon. You just kind of opens up your nose because you need to sleep through your nose.
Yeah.
Mouth sleeping is not good for you.
So do you know much about like dream interpretation? Like about that
No,
whole realm?
I wish I did because I've got some really crazy stuff that I need to get analyzed under
I know I'm having like dreams where like I'm like fighting off like people from attacking my girlfriend, and like it gets violent in the dreams, and like where like people are getting killed and stuff, and like it's vivid.
It's pretty intense.
Dude. Yeah, I like. You know what? Those are. Yeah, those are some intense dreams. I like them.
So for years and years growing up, like in my dream, the dream punch would always like feel like you're underneath water, and I could never connect in the dreams.
I feel the same way. Even I remember I had a dream not long ago. I was trying to reload my gun, and I was trying to stuff rounds in the magazine, and they just kept pulling it out, and I couldn't get them in there. You know, I was just struggling. I was so close.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's got to be the most frustrating thing. You know, there was something weird. I'm not big into astrology, but somebody had once mentioned, I don't know, they gave me a book, and I got to say, it made my skin crawl a little bit. Something about, I don't know, my birthday, my sun sign and moon sign, and that I have these weird dreams that somehow become some version of reality, that they come true. And it doesn't happen all the time. Obviously, we have those, war dreams. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
So I've heard that like when you go to interpret a dream, you have to look at every character as yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everybody that you're dealing with in the dream is yourself. Even if you recognize that person, it's still you kind of want to consider it yourself. But it may be that person in the dream. So it's like any stranger is definitely yourself, but if you recognize them, then it could still be you, but also it could be, representing that actual person.
Interesting.
It is. It seems like there's so many areas there, though, because like I have very vivid dreams where specific people will be in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I definitely know that person in the dream looks like them, smells like them, talks like them, kind of thing.
Yeah. I too, when the wife's in the dream, I know it. Me giving, it's hard time. Like, hey, man. I was like, whoa, hey. So, yeah.
Hey, man, this is an 18-plus only show.
Sorry. So that was,
No, that's a joke.
That was definitely on the opposite end, guys. It was getting yelled at or in trouble.
Yeah. But dreams are interesting because, they do kind of tell you a lot about yourselves. And it's like, I wonder what was happening in my life because all of a sudden, like those slow punches that I couldn't connect, all of a sudden in my dreams, like I just started landing them. And like I was like taking people out in my dreams. And it was like in my early 20s, I feel like that transition happened. And ever since, like I've
been landing punches.
I've never had a slow punch again.
Nice.
It's odd. I don't know why or like where's the psychology behind that?
I don't know. That one's a hard one.
That's a tough one to decode.
Because I have to get somebody on the show to interpret that.
I know.
I'll be here as a guest speaker just with some
taking
notes of dreams.
Yes.
That would be cool to get a dream interpreter on the program. I guess, people probably make a living doing that.
A dream whisperer?
A dream whisperer?
That'd be cool.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
They should be called that now.
Dream interpreter. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I did put together a couple would you rather, so I'm not going to burn through them all right now.
Sure.
But I'm going to hit you with one.
What are these, the questions?
The would you rather segment.
Yeah, so you have to choose. Okay, so would you prefer to be an airline pilot, all right, or would you rather be a container ship captain?
Whoa, that's an interesting one. They're both a rock and a hard places. I friggin' hate heights, and I probably motion sickness. I'd probably say the ship container captain. I just watched Usual Suspects, so that's why I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like, if it was my boat, I'd probably smoke somebody too. Kaiser Soze stepping on my boat. Probably try to take him out. So that's the only thing. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with an airplane.
Airplane?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be an airplane pilot. I feel like ever since the first time I flew on an airplane, I was like, that'd be so cool to man that thing. I'd even grow my mustache and just get on there, man.
Nice.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably, in today's world, like both are pretty safe. Container ships are huge. You don't hear too many of those sinking. Right. But maritime trade, obviously, that could be damaged during war times. Like, people target those things. But then you got planes flying and getting shot down by Russian missiles and stuff, too. Right. So there's definitely those risks. And then, but the height and the fear of the ocean, thalassophobia.
Right. You're interpreting it on a whole different level. I was just thinking air versus water kind of thing.
Yeah. So, you're going to have people around each way. So you have a crew if you're the captain, a crew if you're... I might go with the airline thing just because, I don't know, being at sea and seeing those gigantic waves in the ocean, That would scare the shit out of me.
That doesn't sound good either, man.
But
I will say this:
the turbulence. I don't know. It's
if something breaks on the boat, it's just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
So I guess if something breaks on a plane,
You have a long way down.
You got a lot to think about on the way down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Hopefully,
that's the only reason I thought of it.
Hopefully, the oxygen doesn't work on the plane and you just pass out.
The masts don't drop down.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, have a good time. Boom.
I've actually had a dream of plane crashes, but I'm not in the plane. Like I'll be just chilling out, in the field somewhere, and I'll see this plane just crash, boom, huge explosion. I've had several dreams of planes going down, and I'm not on them. So who knows what that means?
What does that mean?
I don't know. We definitely needed to research the dream whisperer.
Yeah, we need to get one on here now, I think.
What's crashing around you in your life right now?
I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
It's tough to say.
Well, it's definitely not the show, guys. Not crashing. It's the opposite.
Hell yeah.
So
keeping it going. So how have your businesses been affected by this whole pandemic? I mean, we know that the clinic's doing well. You had some other things going on too, like
the
gift shop, right?
Yeah, I do have a retail shop in the mountains at a resort that got shut down.
Okay.
So that was challenging because it is a small mountain town, and my manager there, God bless her, I want to do everything for them, and that was an easy one to not have to worry about, to take care of. The other two, we were considered essential business because we provide transitional housing, pretty much for people really that this probably really affected even more so. So those have been doing okay. I can't complain. I think I was talking to somebody earlier. I can't complain, man. I can't complain. And if I did, I probably should get punched in the face. And I'm not even joking. Like, it should be multiple times, and in the privates, and probably let my balls hang and get some sleep apnea from my butthole too, something like that. So I mean, that's what I really feel, and I hate to, put it out in that way, but I really truly feel, and that's why I really want to help. This particular clinic really allows me to put myself in their shoes and understand how challenging it was for me myself as well to kind of relive that, to make that decision. Really being able to help man, it's a good thing. Everyone should be helping as many people as they can, whether not for a payoff, but really it's a good thing for everybody. So,
yeah.
And we did talk about that last time, just about how people should really focus on their own little what their course in life is and where they're going and what they can do to better themselves. But not only that, you got to believe in people. You got to believe in people.
Give some trust away.
You have to, man. And I tell everyone this. I tell all my employees is, hey, I don't. Not that I don't care about what happens to you, but when we get challenged with people that are like challenging patients or challenging customers, these are opportunities for us to improve as people, because we're challenged with that task that pushes your button to the limit that you don't think. And even now, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I have to have more humility. I don't think eating more humble pie is ever a bad thing. So
I agree with that.
I do too. And now more than ever, I mean, this has been a good opportunity for people to really reflect on what's going on around them. I mean, people have gotten used to handouts and the stimulus package and things of that nature, but it's a good opportunity for people to look within themselves and say, how can I help the community?
Right.
What can I give to someone that's less fortunate? Because there's always going to be someone that's less fortunate or someone that could use a little guidance or, a tip along the way. And I just think it's a good opportunity right now for people to do that,
right.
I agree. And be selfless.
Yeah. And I think that's where it starts, and everyone always wants to see the end result. Everyone's like, hey, well, I want to help this dude, and then I want to see him go do this and do this and do this and become president. And I go, doesn't work that way. And it really is one of those things. If no matter how significant or how minute you may think, you never know. You never know how you impact somebody's life.
It's true.
So
I mean, yeah, I think I've said this before, but I try to be friendly to people and try to give them a hi, and even just maybe being selfless and just giving somebody 10 seconds of your time, or like, hey, how's your day going? Like, even when I'm like checking out at a store and like the clerk, they like, how's your day going? Getting any plans for tonight? Like, even just simple questions like that help you feel a little bit better.
Right. It's that human connection that I think, with social media being so connected, sometimes you lose that.
Yeah. And it's crucial to bring it up as much as possible. People need it. You never know when someone just needs a basic conversation. I mean, I work in the grocery biz, I'm in a retail space, brick and mortar. So I interact with a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, and I feel like I kind of need that. And I think I see a lot of people that also need that, especially now more than ever. Granted, we all are wearing masks out there doing it, but at least there's still that human connection.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't take care, I mean, the whole, like, you know, the village raises people, and, like, I think I was watching this thing on Arnold Schwarzenegger where he was, like, talking about how he doesn't believe in a self-made man because he had help all along the way. Like, everything that he did to get where he was at, like, he had people helping him out in one corner or helping him pull him to the new corner or whatever. And that was just an interesting perspective, you know? Even though you have to have the drive, you have to have the push and the... You want the goal to get accomplished, but you're still going to need a team.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I've always liked Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's always been a guy I've looked up to, you know? He did the Governor thing for a bit. I loved his movies. Terminator still one of my...
Man, love the movies.
I mean,
was just thinking about it.
Just to think about what he did, to quote Bill Burr, I mean, you know, do you guys think we could move to Austria, learn the language, become super famous for lifting weights, become a public movie star, hold public office, marry into their royalty?
Right.
I mean, this guy's been in the zone.
This guy's... I don't know if you saw that video. He got drop kicked.
I think
it was in Australia or something by some kid in some gymnasium. He turned his back and
I did see that.
Yeah, I didn't.
That was crazy.
It was like legit, just boom, and I was like, man, he still got it.
Yeah,
still got it.
Why would somebody do that? This man's like 70.
Yeah, Arnold's got to be like early 70s.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think nowadays you just see people
being assholes.
I don't know, man. I don't ever judge, man. This kid, whatever he had to do what he had to do, he felt it. Got to do it, man. So,
yeah, just taking advantage of an opportunity, knowing there's cameras around, knowing who that celebrity is, and maybe doing something that probably shouldn't have been done. But yeah, I remember seeing that. Yep. Yeah, and he just kind of brushed it off, like, whatever.
Yeah, dude, Arnold, the man, that's amazing.
Take a hit,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd be on the ground, and because the kid was flying. It was a good flying kick. I mean, if there was ever a Jean-Claude Van Damme flying kick, that was one of them. So,
damn, Arnold took it.
Yeah, but yeah, how's everything else? Is there anything new going on with you two? We can talk about you two too, man. You guys are amazing.
Oh, well, that's not. Yeah, I mean, so people have been kind of keeping touch, but I feel like my ankle, and I know I talked to you this about before show, but I feel like it's out of socket, so I got to get it like readjusted in there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
From the injury or from walking around on it?
From the injury.
Damn, dude.
I know that can't be good.
It just feels weird. You know, like when you like pop your fingers or before, there's like that kind of hollow feeling in between. Like I feel that like around my ankle.
Oh, yeah, I definitely gotta get a reset, man. You know, they always say that sprain or some sort of is like worse than a break.
Yeah.
Because once the break happens, your body just needs to heal and just kind of repair it. But the sprain is just very intricate. So
it's pretty gnarly injury.
I was trying to like wait for the sprain to go down to let it heal, and then like that now that it hasn't healed, I'm like, well shit, something else is happening, which sucks because like it's been like 2 months. And
dude, that's too much time, man.
You know, so it's like one of those things where I was like trying to wait it out to see how it was going to heal because I didn't know exactly what's going on. It's just, it was unfortunate that I waited this long,
Yeah.
But I'm hopefully going to go get it adjusted here on Friday.
Good.
Get it set back in, snapped in, whatever you got to do.
But work's been good. I do logistics. There's the day job, and that is slamming. So fortunately, my girlfriend and I have been unaffected by the pandemic.
Good,
been working, man.
Same here, staying real busy. The podcast, we shut down for a little bit when it first hit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah, late March. I think the last week of March through first week of May, we just took a time out just to see what was going to happen.
Oh, really?
For one, a lot of guests were kind of like, we don't want to come on at this point. So Arthur and I had the opportunity to run a lot of solos, just him and I bantering, which we did a little bit of that. But we just took a time out for a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Gave us a chance to kind of gather it up.
Kevin picked up a gun habit since the last time you seen him.
Nice.
I'm a gun habit, but just exercising the 2A. You know?
No, you know what? It's gun stuff's cool. I mean, it's, you see it in.
Do you shoot?
I don't.
Have you shot?
I have, yes.
Well,
yes.
One of these days here before it gets cold, I'll take you out to the range. We'll go shoot my AR. We're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah, I do. I don't know if I can say it, but yeah, I do have an AR too. Man.
Hell yeah. Well,
I really don't have an AR, so for other people listening. So yeah.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, they're a lot of fun, man, and just guns in general. Just love being at the range and putting rounds down range. It's tough to find ammo right now.
Oh,
you know,
really?
there is
Yeah.
a huge panic in the gun world with not only the pandemic but an election year coming up.
Right.
You know,
And that does happen every election year. I
it
believe.
does.
People
Yeah.
buy guns.
Yeah, they always like because the way they do these bills, and I'm not some sort of political geo whatever. I do know that they try to shove a lot of these small little bills on underneath or on top of stuff like hey, this
Sneak
is,
it in there.
yeah, you're voting for this cranberry farm. You want to see if they want to put this earmark for it, and then hey, you know what? Hey, you can't buy any more animals that's more than 30, like a 30-round clip.
Yep.
And then people freak out because people read it.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that every year.
Why do they do stuff like that?
The
Like, it has
earmarks-
nothing to do with like the actual bill.
I think
Yeah.
it's because I don't know. That's a
Because
good
they're
question, man.
sneaky.
It's-
Sneaky connivers.
No,
They-
it makes you feel that way, doesn't it?
It does.
And then it kind of builds this weird distrust.
It does.
And yeah, I don't know, man. You know, hopefully, if you get somebody political, I'd love to talk to them about it because I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't either. I've tried to understand it for a while. I got really into politics, you know, for a lot of years and followed a lot of local constituents and tried to interact and got behind the bills and tried to understand what's going on. And you look at it and you're right. Like you look at the stimulus package or a lot of these major bills that go through, even, you know, the Affordable Care Act, there's always earmarks and pork barrel that's thrown into these bills
Yeah, it's
just to
weird.
get it through. It's like, okay, you guys got what you want. Well, we're going to sneak this in too.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that with some gun legislation coming up. And a lot of people are freaked out about it.
Yeah, and I agree. So I think it happens more often than we think.
Yeah.
And again, we talk about the pandemic and kind of being aware, self-aware. But if it's not going to affect your life, guys, it's hey, don't get involved. Don't cry about it. Just move forward.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically that's what you've been doing, right? Since all this hit. I mean, you put your mask on, obviously, I'm sure. Does your brick and mortars require a mask, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, yes, we do. No, it's interesting. We this particular industry. So I will tell you this, and I know everyone's got their own opinions about COVID-19, and there's just so much about it, and I love it because I think it's kind of bringing people back to science and health. So that is a good thing. Do I agree necessarily with how it's going? Yeah, I don't know. So I've done my own precautionary measures. Vitamin C is a big one. You keep your immune system up as much as you can. And actually, not to plug testosterone, but it's a weird thing. Low testosterone could drop your immunity as well. So it is a weird thing. But I saw another study where they're saying taking a testosterone shot could decrease your. So it's a weird, man. You just hear so many different things.
Yeah. Because no one really knows exactly, what is causing it. What are the determining factors? Like, no one truly. Oh, so Russia says that they have.
Right.
They say
They
that
say
they've
that they
registered
have
an
theirs.
official vaccine.
Yeah. And Germany said it's not tried and true.
Right. Well,
Right.
and I think Fauci came out today and said, don't
Yeah.
trust it and all this, that, and the other. I mean, Pfizer and a lot of one of the other leading brands, they say they're in phase 3 of it before clinical studies, and then the FDA has to prove it.
Right. It's actually, I do actually read quite a bit about it just because I'd like to have an idea.
Sure.
But I will tell you this, from the time that I think maybe end of November, maybe it's the last time we talked, I will tell you this, that the information that was provided then, I think is still to be true, and I still adhere to it now. There's a pretty good chance everyone's going to get some version of it. I don't know. There's a pretty good chance.
I think I've already
agree.
had
I mean,
it.
it has to
Yeah.
run its course. Like,
I think, and so you think about a virus in itself, and I think somebody just I saw this a couple days ago where a virus itself doesn't want to kill the host because it wants to stay alive. So it has that unique feature, I think, that it tries to somehow form a bond with its symbiotic relationship with whatever its host it has. So in theory, it actually should change. But again, I think everyone's going to have it. I think it's one of the things that we were just not prepared for it. The mortality, I know what was a big one. Remdesivir, we talking about Remdesivir got approved where it just helps reduce the mortality rate for people dying, older people that were more pre-diagnosed with I think some sort of respiratory illness, something
Respiratory
like that.
diabetes, I've heard,
Right.
a lot of cardiovascular issues. It's just been so inconsistent case to case.
Right. Our nurse practitioner actually did a stint 8 weeks at New York at the height of it. And, they saw some interesting stuff, and you don't know. That's the problem. You can't actually isolate to say, well, is this a COVID incident? Is this like an isolated incident? Like blood clots. I think she told me that there was, they were doing surgery on somebody to remove a blood clot, and literally the doctor said this is the first time in his career he saw one forming right before his eyes when he was trying to pull it. And so, she was freaked out, and I was like, well, that's pretty crazy. But you can't. I don't know if you
how
can.
fast does a blood clot form?
I don't even know, man. I'm always scared of that stuff, so I'm always rubbing stuff. I don't know. So I don't know much about it, but I will tell you this: it's interesting stuff every time we go through it. You know, then the first animal died, the dog died, or something.
Yeah, I saw the dog. Yeah,
something died, and so
it's
is
transferring
weird.
amongst animals. It just treats everybody so differently. You know, they're saying it can affect your respiratory health,
Right.
cardiovascular. People have stroke, heart attack from it. I heard COVID toes. It affects
COVID toes?
Yeah,
What is
it's
that?
supposed to affect circulation in your feet, which makes you have blisters and things like that.
Jeez. Oh.
It's just, but how much of that can we guarantee is related to the coronavirus?
It's hard, man. It is. My dad got it.
Was he? How ill was he?
You know, my dad, again, he was on test. He has high blood pressure, diabetes. He went to the hospital. He was really sick. He lost his smell, taste. But the worst part of it wasn't that. It wasn't the symptoms. And it was, prepping myself to understand, hey, man, something could bad happen.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, hey, you can't see him.
I know.
And I don't know, but I've been in, before this, I wasn't talking to my dad for like 2 years. We went to a fight.
Oh, wow.
And so, man, it was, so we talk about pros and cons to everything. So, yes, does it suck that he got it? Absolutely. Is it a good thing that he made it out? Yes. Then now all of a sudden, now I'm talking to him. So again, there are, everyone's got to look for the silver lining to it, too.
And you guys were able to squash the difference.
For the most part.
Did that even come up, or did you guys just leave that back there?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it because it was at the time. So I'm just glad, I'm at peace because me and him live such very similar lives, and with it's kind of scary how our lives have been similar. Besides him coming from Korea and doing all that stuff, but just having a family young, and then trying to make it and trying to make more, and keep pushing. What's the relation with how much time do you spend with your family? How much time do you spend trying to make money? And that balance is always challenging. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. The balance is always
Because
challenging.
you need both.
You do
You
need
need
both.
both, man.
And even if you're a single guy, you still need your away time from
Right,
work. You need that
right.
work-life balance. I mean, I'm all about the hustle for sure, and I enjoy my time with my girlfriend, but it's crucial to get away.
It's crucial.
You did get away last week.
Yep, I was gone last week. I took a little vacay to the mountains.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I rented a cabin just outside of Fairplay, and man, we had a good time. Took the guns up there, drank a couple cold beers, ate some good food. There was horses, yaks, barn cats.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Barn cats.
It was a little bit like Old MacDonald had a farm up there. It was a lot of fun.
You know what? I think it's a good thing, man.
I needed it. Yeah, just to get away from people for a minute. I mean, we sat on 2.5 miles of land with no one around us.
Whoa.
So talk about social distancing. It was terrific.
Yeah.
And if people were thinking about coming, the rounds going off probably deterred anybody.
That probably deterred them a little bit, but it's just crucial.
funny.
It's just crucial to have that work-life balance. I mean, it's good to hustle, I feel like.
Yeah,
But, man,
you got to have balance, man.
Yep.
And I think we talk about health, this virus, balance. You got to have, and when you talk about overcompensation, and I think that's what you're seeing a lot in this world too. Unfortunately, even with the police. I think last time you and I, when we first came on the show, it was like I had some issues with the police, and I still do.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't think they're a necessity for our community. And the way that we're headed, I mean, are there bad cops? Of course, but there's good cops too, man.
Yeah, there is.
There's bad people, but there's good people too.
Yeah.
So you can't just lump them all together, man.
That's a fair and balanced way to look at
I
it.
think one of the toughest things for police is like their duty, like umbrellas too many things. Like, there's cases where, if somebody has a mental issue, you shouldn't be sending the police there. It should be like, somebody who's trained to handle that mental issue.
Right, I
so
agree.
like the whole defund the police thing, it's not to like, I don't think it's to like actually, get rid of the cops. It's just to allocate that money into places where people would be better fit to handle certain emergency calls.
Yeah.
Because they are given a lot to do. Like,
They're given a lot, man.
that's a tough gig, man. It'd be tough to be a cop.
You look at the NYPD. They took one of the biggest financial cuts.
Oh, they did. I thought it was Minneapolis or Seattle.
Well, yeah, they're certainly obviously being what happened with George Floyd. They're certainly. But when you look at the numbers with NYPD having 45,000 men and women in blue, I think it was like $89 billion was reallocated from the force itself to other areas, and
it's a lot of money.
It's like you said. I mean, there's good and bad. It's tough to make it a black and white thing. Like, where do you draw the line in the sand? I mean, the funds I feel like should be allocated for training. Let's make sure that these.
Me too. I agree with that.
Yeah, these guys are protecting and serving. They need to be able to
get proper training.
Absolutely. I mean, we've said it before. It takes longer to get a barber's license than it does to become a police officer, and so those are the kind of areas I could see maybe some adjusting happening. But there's a lot of hatred for the police out there right now, and some of it I don't think is fair.
Yeah, I agree. Again, if anything, I'm probably on the opposite side of the police, but they are a necessity. So it is one of those things that. I understand that the risk that they put themselves at. It's a challenging world, man. The world is definitely changing in front of our face. Hopefully all three of us sitting here won't have to deal with any kind of pandemic again.
Yeah.
And
we'll be dealing with this one, I think, for another like 5 years.
We'll feel the effects for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
more
more
about us
optimistic about
personally.
it. I'm more optimistic about it. I'm more optimistic about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good mindset to have, and I try to be the same way. I mean, we got to keep moving forward regardless of what obstacles we have. We got to adapt and overcome.
Right.
But with a lot of these people that have now gotten accustomed to working at home, receiving a lot of their unemployment benefits, it's going to be tough to remotivate a large portion of the working class to get back out there and grind.
Working from home, I mean, I'm motivated to work, but I'm not motivated to go back to the office.
That's what I hear from a lot of people that
I like working from home. I get it done. I still handle it, but then there's like less. Like I feel like there's less stress from the office.
Circumstances.
Like there's stress at work, and I'm handling that, but like there's less people like watching and judging. Like if I'm having an uneasy morning and I have to get up to do that a couple times, like I don't want people judging my bathroom time. You know what I'm saying?
I do remember that too. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, being in the corporate world. So yeah, that does suck.
So would you prefer to work out in a gym? Or like work out in like a home gym or work out outside sort of thing.
You know what? I've had to ask myself this question because ever since Polis put that mask order, and you're supposed to wear the mask in the gym as well, I've refused. I don't go lift.
Yeah.
So, and then to answer your question, would I rather lift at home? The answer is no. When I go home, man, I don't want to do anything. I want to shut off and just be done with it. So it's a weird combination of the two. So yeah, I guess I would rather just not work out at all. So, you know what? I will tell you this. I do have the desire to do it, and I do feel that on me just because I was like, hey man, I know there's certain things I've got to do that I enjoy doing, and that are actually at the same time, we're talking about getting away. Working out's the same thing.
Yeah.
You do feel, a sense of accomplishment, sense of relief, stress. So there's a lot of positives that go with it as well. So yes, I think there is some of that I do miss as well. So
I'm more of like, like I was kind of mentioning, cardio is hard for me. Like I like walking, I like hiking, like that's my type of workout kind of. So I'm definitely not your gym guy. I'd rather either just do like a home workout, do some push-ups on the floor, or go on a walk or something. Yeah, so I'm no gym for me, especially with like the whole that's without the face mask.
Working out with a mask is pretty difficult. It's difficult to do a lot of physical tasks with a mask.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
My job is pretty physical. I do a lot of walking. I'm constantly going up and down aisles in the grocery stores, analyzing product, moving product, pulling pallets, all with a mask on. So I'm constantly on the move. So I get my exercise doing that. I would probably prefer to go to an establishment to work out because then I'm in that mindset.
Right.
I'm here to work out. Let's do what we're doing here because I'm there. It's just like going to work.
That is kind of true.
Podcast.
Like what you said, when you go home, you're like,
Yeah, dude. When I go home, it's like, dude,
home's chill time. It's your sanctuary.
Gym.
It is your sanctuary. Right.
But yeah, home time's crucial. I like going home. I like to sit in my underwear. I don't like wearing pants when I'm home.
I'd agree with that.
So.
You always wear pants when I come over.
Well, that's because I have a guest there.
That's true.
See, I thought you'd be comfortable with me after all this time.
I mean, I try to be respectful, But yeah, the point is, when you get home from a long day, from whatever you're doing, it's chill time, and so it's unless you have a sweet home gym, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even then, I'd be surprised. I think that if I had.
A room dedicated to
right. Like if I was The Rock, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, and I can just do my own thing.
I heard The Rock is so dedicated to his workouts that he hired a specific team with a flatbed or a box truck to pack up his gym, move it to whatever city he's in, wherever he's filming, whatever show he's shooting, whatever podcast he's doing, whatever. They move it. Their whole job is to move his gym, set it up in a tent outside wherever he is, so he can constantly work out.
That's legit.
That's
you know
dedication.
why? Because I think people don't understand, these big, and I think you saw it with the COVID thing, these big gyms, man, it's just hard. if you want to, superset something, you want to go do this and then go do this, keep your heart rate up. We're talking about burning fat. You're trying to make the efficient time out of it, right?
Yeah.
But you can if this dude's over here chatting, trying to hit on this girl, and he's on the one piece of equipment you need, and everyone's on it. It becomes challenging. It really becomes challenging for your workout. And I hate to say it, I think working out, the interesting part about bodybuilding or working out, it's literally you're just kind of. You're competing against yourself, which is the cool part.
Yeah.
But then when you get interrupted by other outside influences, then that's kind of when you can get interrupted at least. So.
Yeah, because you're getting your heart rate up, you're getting your blood flowing, and then you gotta hurry up and wait.
Right,
it's
right.
Gonna, mess that up. Yeah,
that can be kind of a downer.
That can definitely be a downer, especially when you're on a heater and you're dialed in. That's how I am. I get frustrated. My phone rings or someone's talking to me or I got to deal with something that I wasn't prepared to deal with. I'm one track. This is what we're doing.
Right.
I'll adapt, but I get a little frustrated.
Right.
All right, too. So we got a word of the week.
Oh yeah, word of the week.
One of our listeners.
This is one of our new segments.
Cool.
Yeah, we started this last week, the word of the week segment. So we did have a listener send us in. The word of the week this week is dross.
Dross?
Dross is the word of the week, DROSS, used in a sentence as, there are bargains if you have the patience to sift through the dross.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh.
I feel like I've heard the word.
I feel like it's British dialect. It sounds to me like a British would say it.
So I'm going to say like complication or like, sift through like the inner workings. It's like a complication or something that has inner workings. That's something like that.
It's an interesting word. So it's a noun, and the definition of dross is something regarded as worthless or rubbish.
Oh.
So
even better.
If something is completely disregarded, it's dross.
I'm going to try to use that tomorrow.
Get out of here with your dross attitude.
That's the word of the week, guys.
Man,
dross.
you look really dross today.
They're like, oh, thank you? What does that mean?
Go look it up. Get out of the store.
Yeah, it sounds like a compliment with an insult draped over it.
Yeah, thanks for submitting, man. We love the submission.
One.
That's fun.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So I don't. Sometimes I try to like think of something to say. Being in sales, and then you kind of just make it up as you go. Do you have to sell a lot doing any of your things? Like, do you have to use any hard closing techniques or?
No, I don't. And really, if anything, I think it comes across more as probably the opposite. Just because I might be okay financially, and I might have different views on how I spend my money, because I'm pretty stupid, right?
Okay.
Let's not get it twisted on how I spend money.
I know with your flashy glasses. Why don't you show those off?
Oh, cool, yeah.
What are they?
Chrome hearts.
They look good, man.
Yeah, I love them, man. I've been trying to find a frame to fit my big head. I don't know if the YouTube will see how big the head is, but it's always pretty cool, very challenging. But yeah, I think we talk about, I don't ever want to assume. And I don't ever want to assume, especially because I came from, when we were corporate, the financial portion of it. I hate to assume people's financial circumstances or situations, and I don't ever want to marginalize it. And I know how important it is for people, whether they have money or not. What that freedom to have is a big one for me. So, if anything, I always try to let people know what their options are, and then try to alleviate that by just saying, hey, look, it's available. You don't have to rush. There is no, we're not working against the clock here.
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand that as well, that it is a choice. Hey, you do it. I just want to make sure that we're here to help you. That's all. That's really what it is.
Well, it seems like a good recipe for success. I mean, you're very humble about it, non-judgmental, approach every situation, differently and analyze their needs. That seems like a recipe for success to me.
Well, yeah, I think it's, I think we talked about this last time too, man. I love betting on people. I think people, no matter where they're at, where they're headed, I think they can always, people themselves, I think this is the story of redemption. And so I think that's, no matter what, if you give up, I feel like you give up on everything.
That's dross to give up.
That's dross.
That's dross,
guys. Worthless, bargain bin. Don't look through it. It's dross.
And we tied that together perfectly. Yeah. No, I just think that's a good outlook to have in general in life, let alone, business. Just approaching that, selflessly, non-judgmental, pretty optimistic about a lot of things. I mean, you imagine the win kind of thing. Manifest it.
Right.
And I try to practice as much as I can. It's hard sometimes. You get pulled in different directions, but it's always good to hear those reminders.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. So.
Yeah, man. So, like when I used to sell cars, I would always assume the sale.
Oh, really?
You
That's
know,
cool.
I would always just assume they were gonna buy it. You know, assume that they had enough money to do it. You know, so but it's a different thing though too.
Well, that's quota
Like,
driven a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
your drive
Yeah,
depends
and
on it.
and plus it's you're talking about now. It interacts with. I mean, he's trying to provide for his family too. So now it's kind of this interesting where it intersects.
Yeah.
Because dude, I'm in cars all the time. I love cars.
What's your favorite type of car?
You know,
I mean,
I don't-
what's your like? If you could have that car,
You know what? I actually, man.
Do you have
thankfully,
it?
Because I get a chance to kind of go through it. I mean, obviously, I'm not.
Is it here? Did you drive it here?
No, but I did drive a nice car here that won't be here for very long. But I go through cars pretty quickly, and I think everyone, it's funny. I just punched that.
dude. Hell
on the
yeah,
face.
dude. I've been trying to get
I
that
know, I
fly.
got good, but it was only
Kudos.
anyways. You know what? I love cars. So everyone is funny. All the car guys, because I've been in the industry for so long, all the car salesmen always go, "Hey, do you love it?" And I go, "Yeah, it's a great car." And they're like, "Oh, you don't love it?" I go, "Yeah, it's a car. It's just a car, man." And because they're trying to make I understand the sales tactic that they're trying to get you emotionally connected
Yeah,
to it. I
right.
understand. I got no beef with it. But I tell the guy straight up, I go, I love all cars. There are good quality cars all the way across the board, and everything has very unique characteristics. And that's what I think why cars are so amazing. The car, it can fit any point in time, anyone's life, good and bad, and it just, I think it's one of the things I just enjoy. I just enjoy cars. So
I do too.
I mean, if you're not a petrol head a little bit, then I don't
As a
know.
guy, yeah.
I don't know if you're American.
I love it.
No, I'm joking.
agree.
I'm joking.
I love auto racing. I love cars. I kind of grew up, kind of blue collar, so we were into, Chevy pickups and racing and Fords and, just grassroots kind of stuff. So I grew up around, V8s that were
right.
rusted out solid, and we'd try to put them back together and make them go fast. And I've loved that concept. And now you look at these 2020 models, I mean, everything's pretty consistent. In American cars, that is.
Yeah.
I rented a Dodge Ram for my trip last week, and it's like all the pickup trucks are now kind of similar. I don't really feel like one outweighs the other now.
Right.
It's all marketing and what you're tied to.
Right.
What you're
Right.
brought up around. So as far as
Yeah, there's a lot of influence
manufacturers.
there, man. But yeah, I love cars.
I do too.
Freaking love
So
that.
my dad had this Chevy Coupe, like a '36 Chevy Coupe, and it was old. It didn't have like the engine. It was like a kit car body. Like you just were getting it to work on it, and
Like an old rat rod.
And it was all rusty on the bottom and stuff. And I always remember this material that we used. It's called Pour 22. It's like a de-ruster.
Oh,
So it's like this black like liquid that you coat on like paint, and it
Eats through the rust.
it solidifies the rust.
Oh,
so,
just wipe it
so-
away.
So like, well, no, it becomes one with it and like makes it compounded and stronger. So you leave it on once you apply it.
Okay.
But if you get it on your skin,
Oh yeah.
oh man.
like it just takes time. Like you can't vigorously scrub it off. Like it just takes time to come off.
Doesn't seem like it's something good to get on the skin.
No, probably not. No.
I was painting with one of my friends. This is when we were younger. I was like, 19 or, younger, helping my dad out. And one of my buddies, Matt, was helping me do it. And like at one point, like he gets crazy when he's working, and so he like gets stuff all over the place and then on himself, and he had like all these black dots just all over his face from like, doing the paint. Oh, I always remember that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of cars that I was gonna redo, and it's always been in the back of my mind and my heart. But when it came down to it, you've got to analyze, and we talked about kind of doing what you have to do for yourself. And I just realized, dude, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. Trust me, I love rat rods.
Sure.
I think they look amazing. But I don't have the time for it, and I just don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay $50 an hour, $75 for this dude to work on the car for 100 hours. You put $100,000 into it, the car's worth $15,000.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, man.
What's your go-to then for you like imports? You like
I don't, man. I'm telling you right now. I just bought an Escalade. I had a Tahoe. No, I don't think we had it here. Yeah, I had a Tahoe, brand new Tahoe. I drive so much. I was just like, dude. I was like, hey man, they got to be hurting. So I went and got an Escalade. I wrapped it. So I'm pretty happy with that.
What'd you wrap it in?
It's just matte black and gloss. So I wasn't
Oh,
going to
nice.
have it completely matte, but then my younger brother, who is pretty much the guru at it, he was like, "Hey man, that's not what's in." And I go, "Oh, okay, cool." So then it was kind of like it's gloss black. So it actually came out really well. I got a 911 4S now that I'm driving, but I'm going to get rid of it to get the new GTR. I sold the GTR. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but one of the Broncos, ex-Bronco guys, and so he took that. So yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to get another GTR because I want the blue. I found out the blue that they make for the anniversary, which is the one everyone wants, that they had this huge racing stripe, and it's just hideous. And guys, I don't know what you guys love about racing stripes, but
You're not a fan.
I just don't get it, you know?
It doesn't make it go any faster.
I just don't get it, guys. Anyway, so I always thought it was painted on. So to just like irritate, it irked me. It always it irked me. When finally I said, hey, somebody's like, hey, no, it's vinyl. I go, dude, I'm in. I'm going to buy one now. So that's cool. I do like the Audi R8.
Yeah, Audi's nice, yep.
The problem is it's a piece of crap, but I'm still going to buy it.
Are you really?
Yeah. The magnetic suspension always goes out. That AC compressor always goes out. You're talking about, that's 15 grand right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to expect it. So yeah, when you get into that range, and you know, now these supercars that we thought were like Diablos, they're affordable, but people don't understand the problems of what you're walking into.
Sure.
But thankfully to YouTube, I mean, there's a lot of guys that do it. They'll go, hey, I'm going to go buy this Gallardo, which is basically an R8, just just with a different shell, and they're just going through all these problems. And I'm like, holy crap, that sucks. It sucks when you know, like that's your car. But again, cars are cool, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you just got to be able to kind of work around it.
Sure. Yeah, it's a hobby too. I mean, yeah, it takes money, of course, like anything.
It takes money, yeah. And you know, it takes payments. And you know, everyone's like, oh, hey. And I'm like, I think one of my employees, he was like, hey, man, that's a good problem to have. I go, hey, man, when you have to make the payment, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for the first 30 days. And then when the payment comes, you're like, shit, why did I do that?
Yeah.
That's why you're going through cars so quick.
That's why I go through cars so quick. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Crack the code.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? If you can swing it and it brings you joy, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I mean, again, I don't idolize it. So I think a lot of people kind of do that with something in their life. And I'm pretty sure I do that with work, I think. But I don't idolize the car. It is just something I enjoy. So I could have got a Hyundai Palisade, which I think is a great car. And I probably would have been cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have got bored with it pretty quickly.
Hyundais have actually stepped up their game
Dude,
a
they're
lot.
legit, man. That
Yeah.
Genesis company they spun off, and I'm not just supporting Korean brands because I've never been to Korea. So I was born in Texas. So if anything, I'm probably more of a Chevy guy, right?
Being from Texas, I would guess, yeah.
Yeah. So but man, the cars look good and they're performing good, so they're stepping up their game. So I appreciate that.
A lot of good car manufacturers out there now, and they're constantly forcing each other to get better and, and
right,
raise
I like that.
they have to. The industry standard is just getting better and better and better. So, with Tesla, their stock prices went up 12% today. Tesla,
That's crazy.
They're ripping right now.
Crazy.
Ripping.
It's crazy. And I remember the time, where you had that weird when they weren't doing well, they weren't making the quotas, they had sheet metal problems, production problems, they were firing everybody. And then literally, like, all of a sudden, boom, they filled the quota for the 3, and then 3 came out, and then the SUV, then the little S, and they're just doing great. So,
yeah.
I mean, the guy knows what he's doing.
Elon Musk knows how to run a company for sure. And Tesla will be successful. They're getting ready to do a 6-way split on their stock prices.
Oh, crazy.
So, they're ready to make the move to the S&P 500, and Tesla's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. Remember we talked about earlier about, hey, taking that dive or the jump into a different business, because he did great with SpaceX.
SpaceX still doing
but
great.
He didn't do good with his the solar panels.
Solar panels didn't work, and now he's got Neuralink in the works.
Oh, dude, the guy.
Well, of course, PayPal is how he got all of his money in the first place.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he was associated with
started
that.
with that, and then they sold it back to eBay.
He's crushing on that probably still.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
He's just set up. He has the right mindset. Honestly, and I listen to him on Joe Rogan. If you haven't seen that podcast.
I do. Man, I love Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's the guy, and he just moved to Texas.
I know.
So who knows? We might be taking DCPC to Texas at some point. But
no, the humidity, keep it away.
Yeah, I can't do humidity.
Yeah, it's too much.
I mean, hey, that's where the scene is. But listen to Elon Musk on there. He's like, man, I have all these houses, I have all this stuff. He's like, I'm just thinking about selling it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need any of this stuff.
That was really cool. Yeah, that was a really good. Everyone should watch that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a good way to really look at yourself and say, hey, what am I really trying to do? So
brilliant guy for sure. A good guy to look up to, and he's extremely successful. And
yeah.
I don't think much about his chick though.
I don't know much about.
I don't know much about her, but I just see like pictures, like weird, just random pictures here and there.
I think he would have to be a little bit of an odd individual to be with Elon. He just seems a little socially awkward. He's so intelligent. But man, we'd love to have him on the podcast.
Would be uber cool.
Yeah, that would be. So
that'd be a lot of fun. Well, dude, it's awesome that you've been kicking ass with your with the hormone with those clinics. Because I wasn't too sure with you coming in. I was like, man, how's this been treating Young over here? And so we're really happy for you as far as all that go. Now, do you have a slogan or anything that we could hashtag for you?
Something that you utilize daily for yourself, or words of encouragement, or
No, is that what the thing is? We got to come up with a slogan?
Not necessarily.
Man, sorry, I wasn't prepared for that.
No, we put everyone on
we
the
throw
spot
everyone
with
on the
that.
spot.
Come up with a slogan? Ooh. A life slogan or a work slogan? I don't even know.
Even just a hashtag,
Yeah.
Young Kim hashtag.
No, I don't even know what a hashtag is. Like,
Okay.
I have no social media. I know that my company's on it because it is a good thing for everybody. Call me old fashioned, and just call me old, really, I guess. It's one of those things. I love talking to people, face to face or even on the phone. And so it's one of those things and if somebody wants to reach out, my friends know who I'm at, where I'm at. If somebody wants to reach out, I'm readily available.
Yeah.
I know what your hashtag is. You mentioned it earlier.
What is it?
It's look inward, and be honest with yourself or something like that.
Yeah, I wish I could come up with something cool, man. I wish I was prepared, but I gotta say, you know what? You just gotta really enjoy life and be blessed.
Yeah.
Man, really. And I gotta say, here in Colorado, I love this place. I love it. It's a great state, and I know because I've had a couple of debates with one of my friends who just moved out to Arizona, believe it or not, because I think that's when it was blowing up, that pandemic portion of it. But he was just saying, he had all these views about Polis and this and that, and I respect it. I got no problem, but I love the state, man. The state's great. No state's gonna be perfect, but I think if there was ever anything close to it, we've got water, we've got air's not too bad. The economy's doing pretty good. People, and you know what? Actually, everyone always tells me is that when they come from another state, especially Chicago, there's a lot of guys out of Chicago when I meet playing volleyball, and they go, "Hey, everyone's so nice," and I go, "I never noticed that, but you're absolutely right. There are people that'll just come up and say hi, and they'll just strike up a conversation with you, and that don't happen in Cali.
Really?
That don't happen where I'm from in Cali.
Cali, yeah. We're in Cali, SoCal.
Southern Cali, yeah. It was Glendale and then Koreatown, and I mean, that doesn't happen like that.
It is interesting how when you move around the country, people interact differently in the way that they approach you. I'm from New England, one of the oldest parts of the country. So people up there are typically in a hurry to go nowhere. Pretty aggressive, pretty
Right.
angry kind of thing. I mean, that's a bit of a stereotype. Not everybody's that way, of
Right,
course,
right.
but you're right. I know the same thing when I moved to Colorado. People out here are very friendly. They're a little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
They want to shoot the shit with you. Generally speaking, I've met nothing but good people here, and I'm fortunate to live here. I've had some great experiences.
Yeah, me too. How about you? What do you think about Colorado?
I love it. This is my state.
He's a native.
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah,
You're
this is
blessed,
home.
man.
You guys, I'm happy that both of you are here. I'm happy that my people could make you feel so welcome. No, but that's the thing is there's not that many people in Colorado that are from Colorado.
Yeah.
You know?
My girlfriend is. She's
Yeah.
she's native.
Hey,
It's a handful of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I actually grew up here from Texas, and then I moved out. I think in the third grade to I don't know. Colorado had its own economic depression, 1985, 1983, somewhere around there. It had its own little economic depression just within the state.
Huh.
I didn't even know about it until I actually looked back, where even my parents at the time were pretty successful, and then all of a sudden just dropped out, and everything just dropped, and we moved, and I didn't know anything because I was young at the time.
Yeah.
But then I looked back and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And so it was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Look it up. It's like it was in like Time magazine. It was kind of a big thing. Yeah.
That was before I lived here for sure. But yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. But I mean, Colorado's developing so quickly, and I know a lot of people have their own problems with it. But I think it's great. I think we've got to have something to look forward to in growth. But I know Texas. I think that Joe Rogan thing. He was saying the same thing. I think this is the first year that California has not grown. So that means typically you always have people coming in and out, but that more people came out just as much as they came in.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of flatlined a little bit.
Kind of
So
flatlined, right?
it's time to move on, I guess.
Yeah, dude. The earthquake's coming, guys. I don't know if anyone in
Eventually,
California knows. It's
yeah.
coming, dude.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, just
Yeah.
like Yellowstone will go eventually. I just hope that's
Right,
after my life is over.
yeah, I agree with that.
Because
Certainly.
Colorado's screwed when that thing
Oh, a
goes
lot of
off.
people are
It's too
screwed.
close.
That would be disastrous.
That would be. I mean, we're talking about that. We're talking about global. And we're talking about pandemic. We're talking about that'll be.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the ash cloud from that would change the temperature of the planet.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. So who knows? We can't predict what's going to happen. All we can do is try to do the best we can, day in and day out. Get out of bed and let's let her rip tater chip and own it.
Yeah, and I won't be here that long, so it's all right, man. I'm trying to burn this candle at both
We're
ends.
gonna get you back on another man. You're always a pleasure to talk to.
Thanks, guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, thanks for coming back on, Young. It's always good to keep in touch with you, and glad you're doing well, man. And
thank you so much, man.
Yeah, we'll have to check in with you again maybe in the wintertime. It seems like we do the semi-annual visit with Young. So
yeah, dude, I love it. You guys are amazing. So hey, everyone should support these guys. These guys are great. So yeah,
appreciate those kind words, man.
Well, everybody, keep believing and achieving your goals. Keep working toward a brighter future. Be fortunate for what you have today, because you might lose the ability to walk on your ankle tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, so like if we count our blessings, it's important. Somebody is always having a worse day, and you've always had a worse day too. So, just keep believing and achieving and making it happen one day at a time. That's what I'm saying.
That's all we can do, man.
So I'm in this one.
That's the slogan right there, guys.
Yep. One foot in front of the other. Own it. Let it rip, tater chip. Best listeners in the podcast industry right now. Discussion Combustion. We love you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Send us an email. Check us out on discussioncombustion.com. Become a member over there. Send us some Would You Rathers, words of the week. Interact with us a little bit. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. You can find us everywhere. We love you guys. Young, once again, great seeing you, my man.
Thanks, guys.
You take care, guys. We'll see you back here next week. We got Mike Patchen back in the building for part 4 with him. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys be good to yourselves. You deserve it.